Hi, and welcome to Eat to My Own Beat, taking the road less traveled. On this channel, I'll be talking about my adventures all over the world. A little about me: I'm a Canadian, 40 years old. I suffer from anxiety and depression. Travel helps me deal with my depression. When I travel, I feel free. With these vlogs, I'll talk to you about my adventures. I'll also try to talk about more than just the tourist stuff. I want to talk about things we don't see on television. I will be talking to people who live in these countries. I want to learn to cook ethnic foods as well as tasting the local fare. I'll be talking and learning about the history of the countries, things that are not necessarily talked about in normal media. Items like slavery in Europe as well as ethnic cleansing in Asia. The world is big and wonderful place, but we need to go beyond the surface of what we see and dig deep to learn about what makes a country a country. I went on my first flight when I was just over 1 year old. I traveled to Hawaii. I don't remember any of it. The only thing I know about it is the stories I've been told. Apparently when I got off the plane, I thought the palm trees were waving at me, so I waved back. It took another 13 years before I got to go on an airplane again. That was when my family went to Disneyland. Once I graduated high school, I got the travel bug. I turned 21 and decided that I had to go to Las Vegas. One trip to Las Vegas ended with 7 trips to Las Vegas. I was kind of obsessed. I didn't understand that the world was so much larger than Las Vegas. In 2013, I was diagnosed with a very rare kidney condition called loin pain hematuria syndrome. It doesn't affect the function of the kidney, but it does cause an unbelievable amount of pain that can last for months at a time. If you've ever suffered from kidney stones, think of that pain all the time. At that point, I was unable to work because of the pain and nausea that I suffered from. My nephrologist got me on CPP disability, and I received a large payout that was backdated to when I first got sick. It took over a year and a half to finally get on disability, so the payout was quite large. This allowed me and my wife to go on a trip to Europe, where my brother and sister-in-law moved a few years before. Having never traveled overseas before, my wife and I planned a long, multi-country trip with carry-ons only. The farthest my wife had ever traveled was Houston, Texas, and the farthest I had traveled was Hawaii. We flew from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada to London Gatwick Airport, where we waited for a flight to Amsterdam. Arriving in Amsterdam, we were a little like fish out of water. Large airport, less English than we were used to. I remember buying a train ticket to get to our hotel, and we were not sure where to get off. So we got off too early, and then we were lost. After a couple of freakouts, we were able to find a restaurant, and they called a taxi for us. At this point, we had been up for almost 26 hours. We ended up relaxing for about half an hour at the hotel, and we decided to explore the city. We ended up staying up for a total of over 34 hours that day, and crashed quite hard. We woke up around noon the next day, and we continued to explore the city and started to discover what makes Europe special. During the trip, we visited Berlin, Germany, Brussels, Belgium, Paris, France, London, England, Glasgow, Cardiff, and Dublin, Ireland. I found it to be an eye-opening experience to see so much history in just one place. I remember walking into an English town, feeling the bricks that made up the houses, and just thought of all the history behind these 14th century buildings. You can say, at that point, I fell in love with travel. Since that first trip to Europe, I've been back 3 more times, and the last time we visited Prague, Czech Republic, Vienna, Austria. We've also been to Asia and visited Beijing, China, Tokyo, Japan, Manila in the Philippines, as well as a visit to North American island of Veradero, Cuba. My goal is to see every country in the world. Next year alone, I'll be visiting 14 new countries. Over the next few days, weeks, and months, I'll be doing a podcast as well as videocasts. So please check back here for updates to my podcast location, my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow my Facebook page for trip updates. We'll be focusing on the first country we'll be visiting, which is Lisbon, Portugal, where you will learn about the food, history, as well as their part in the North Atlantic slave trade. I look forward to giving you more information, as well as help you better understand the world we live in. Keep traveling, and talk to you soon.